Welcome to our deep relaxation class.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to class. My name is Brian, and I will be our facilitator for today's class. We're so thankful you've chosen to take this time for yourself to enhance your well-being. Thank you for supporting yourself, me, and the Eldersburg Branch Library. We're excited to have a huge catalog of wellness and yoga classes available anytime you want to take them for free on YouTube. You can check out our channel anytime by going to YouTube and searching Library CCPL. There'll be a couple different options to search for channels within that channels. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will ask that you, before we get too far in, have a yoga strap or a band, a belt, something like that that you can use to support a couple different practices that we'll move through today. So once you've assembled that gear, if it's not close by, we'll just start in a comfortable seated position, and we'll just take about a minute or two to move through some mindful breath practices. Now, it's clear that we all have other obligations and things outside this class that have grappled for our attention and required us to have required something of ourselves. But for the next 45 minutes or so, we just have this time to kind of fill our tank back up, do a little maintenance for our physical bodies, and hopefully leave feeling more emotionally clear and grounded. So we're going to start all that wonderful inner work with our mindful breath practice. It doesn't require very much except for an open mind, a willingness to sit still, and the best you can try to focus. We're working on our concentration here, sort of like a relaxed but one-pointed focus on your breath. You can take a deep breath or just notice your natural breath. Observe the length of inhalation and exhalation. Just notice if you're breathing out your mouth or your nose right now. Notice any sounds or feelings that accompany your breath. Just say to yourself quietly, with your hands resting on the knees or lap, or if you prefer, your hands can touch and rest in the center of your chest. Just take a breath and repeat this affirmation to yourself. I am present, safe, and secure. All is well. I am present, safe, and secure. All is well. I am present, safe, and secure. All is well. This time, exhale completely. Hold your breath out a moment. Complete that exhalation. Suck the belly in. Hold your breath out. And then when you inhale, just reach the hands up high. Big breath in. Spread your arms. Reach through your fingertips. And exhale, press your palms away, making a great big T shape. With your hands, pull your shoulder blades together. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And then again, just inhale. Sweep those hands up and overhead. Big breath in. Exhale, press your palms away. You can even wiggle your fingers. Tract your shoulder blades. Good, and relax the hands. Keep those shoulders back and down. Just look over your left shoulder. Back through center. Look over your right shoulder. Back through center. Look left. Back through center. Look right. This time, just drop left ear towards left shoulder. You can tuck the chin or tilt the chin away. Or just explore some very gentle, intentional movements to invite in that nice side stretch through the neck. All those muscles that work so hard to keep your knowledge-filled brain up above the shoulders. Keep your shoulders back and down. Slowly bring head and neck back to center. Just pause a moment. Gently look right, and then drop right ear down towards right shoulder. It very well might not touch. In fact, it's probably sort of uncommon if your ear actually touches the shoulder. That's just the direction you're letting your head relax into. Head and neck back to center. And we're going to go ahead and transition to our all fours onto our hands and knees. When you're ready, you can go ahead and make that transition. Keep that strap nearby. We'll be using it shortly in our standing sequence. Take your time, come onto all fours. You might need some kind of additional cushioning to place underneath your knees. If your knees are a little sensitive, we want to keep our hands directly underneath our shoulders. You guessed it, we're going to move through a little cat and cow warm-up sequence just to kind of warm up the muscles in our back and the mobility of the vertebrae in our spine. So we're going to start by just stretching long through the spine, reaching the crown of the head forward. Then start to tilt your tailbone away. This will melt the belly down towards the floor, kind of like a cow's belly sort of rounds towards the earth. Inhale, pull shoulder blades together, lift head, neck, and chest. Creating that concave shape through the lumbar spine. And then exhale to that convex shape, scooping the pelvis under, pressing the floor away, rounding through the back and tucking the chin in. At your own pace, guided by your breath, inhale deeply, reverse and repeat. Move through a few more rounds of that cat-cow movement. Good. And come back to center. Now we're going to work on a little bit of an isolated movement that's going to activate our obliques and our hips and glutes a little bit. So you're going to go ahead and just actually kind of begin to move right hip up towards right armpit. It's just going to be kind of like a little shrug through the hip, and then go ahead and set it back. And you'll do the same thing on the other side. Just a little shrug through the hip and then send it back. You're not actually moving through the lumbar spine left to right. You're just sort of just using that hip, pressing it forward, and then relaxing it back. Do about 5 or 6 of those on each side. And last part for our hands and knees here, we're just going to make some big hip circles. Drop your hips back and down towards right ankle. Making some circles. We're now coming across left ankle, back up to all fours, and then swing the hips back around. If you want to widen the knees a little bit while you do this, you can. If you haven't already, just pause and reverse the direction. Go ahead and pause. We're going to transition into our downward facing dog next. Little warm up down dog. We're going to shift the hands forward and come into a modified plank or modified push-up position. Keep the toes tucked under to come into down dog. From here, you can lift the knees and then lift the hips. You might step your feet in just an inch or two. You want a little space in between the feet. Keep a soft bend in the knees. Let the head and neck relax. And then just start to straighten one leg and then the opposite leg. Warming up the hamstrings here a little bit, calves. Look up between the hands, gently walk the feet forward, coming into a standing forward fold with a little bend in the knees. And then slowly come all the way back up to standing, hands come up high. Exhale, hands touch and rest in front of the chest. One more time, big breath in, hands reach up high. And exhale, hands relax in front of the chest. So we're going to go ahead and grab this strap now. All right. And you need roughly about 3 feet of strap. You might want a little more or a little less. And I'll show you what we're going to use it for first. First, we're just going to use it for a little bit of shoulder mobility. So you can stand with your feet just underneath of your hips. Go ahead and just shift the weight forward and back in the feet. Gently side to side. Find your sort of center of gravity there and balance weight distribution between your feet. Go ahead and outstretch your hands, arms sort of not locked, but straight. And just bring your hands up and overhead with that band or strap. And just start to bring the hands behind the head. You'll feel that stretch across the chest. Through the backs of the shoulders, you might need to widen your hands a little bit more, in which case you can just sort of modify your hand positioning on the strap. Keep your shoulder blades pulled together and your hips gently pressing forward here, keeping your core activated. And then that's all I want you to do is inhale, strap out in front, maybe in front of the chest, and then exhale around behind to the back of the head. If you eventually get a little more comfortable, or you can press the hands down behind you, almost to rest back at your side, you can do that and create a full sort of range of motion. But you're going to work within your own comfortable limits here, your own comfortable range of motion. If you kind of get stuck at a spot, just sort of pause and take a few repetitions back through that area. Good. Go ahead and relax that strap. We're now going to take the strap and double it over on itself. So we're back to that roughly 3 foot length there. I'm going to bring the strap around behind my back, right about where my waistline is. So right where like my hips are. All right. And I'm going to use this strap to assist me with a little bit of a standing back bend. So I'm just going to kind of push my hands into the strap, feet firmly rooted, and then just pulling my shoulder blades together, engage through the hips and glutes, just gently lean back, and then gently come back to standing. I like to inhale in the standing neutral position and then exhale with that back bend. You can move the strap up and down just about an inch and see how you notice any difference. Take this time to explore any other positioning with that strap. And go ahead and come back to center. Go ahead and just place that strap over your right shoulder. And then go ahead and just kind of shake everything out for a moment. Move this camera back just a little bit. All right. So next we're going to move into a little bit of rotator cuff and deltoid stretch. This is one part of the two aspects of a yoga pose called cow face pose. And basically we're going to use this strap to kind of help increase our range of motion and hold so that we can really keep the benefit of the stretch. So to start, I'm going to do it standing. Traditionally, you would do this seated with a hip opening stretch as well, but I really want to just focus on this component that stretches around the shoulder and rotator cuff. So what I'm going to do is start by just reaching my right hand up high and just taking 4 big arm circles, really reaching up out of the shoulder, around behind. Once you've done that 4 times, just relax that right arm down by your side. Now I'm going to turn so you can see the warm-up stretch for the other side's a little different. This one, you're going to act like you're holding a serving tray or plate, and you're just going to open your hand out to the side and then back across the body and out to the side. So you're going to do that just a few times. Next time you have that tray out to the side, imagine that you're just going to press the hand. You're just crosswalk now. You're saying stop. Go ahead and just make a couple little micro circles with that left hand. And then go ahead and shake out that left arm. Okay, so now to get into the static stretch, into this cow face pose stretch. You've got this strap. You should have enough on your back so that it hangs down to your glutes. And you can actually reach around and grab that strap with your left hand. All right, I want you to really, we'll do it this way. Reach out in front with that serving tray, all the way around behind, and then getting that hand up as far as you can, maybe up to the shoulder blade, to hold on to that strap. Now with this other hand, our right arm, we're going to reach up like we did in the warm-up series, and then we're going to bend at the elbow. Now some people that are blessed with that sort of unnatural flexibility, or that they maybe worked on this a long time, you might be able to clasp your hands, in which case you don't need the strap. But for most of us, we need this strap to kind of hold on to and make up the difference between our hands. Now, I've got to pay attention to what's going on in my abdomen here, and I need to scoop my hips back under and re-engage in the core. That's going to protect my back while I'm here. Secondly, notice your head. Is your chin tucked into your chest? Try and let your head and neck, as naturally as it can, extend towards the ceiling. Keep this right elbow pointed up, and then gently just drop your shoulders back and down. We're going to hold here for about 35 to 45 seconds on each side. Remember to breathe. Enjoy those nice, slow, deep breaths in and out. The next time you exhale, just gently release both hands. Bring them out in front. Turn your palms to face forward. Inhale, squeeze the hands and make fists. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, just drop your hands and arms like a sack of potatoes. Do that twice more. Squeeze the hands, big shoulder shrug. Good job. One last time. And relax. Great. So go ahead and move that strap over to the other side. We'll start that sequence on the other side now. So we'll start with the left arm, reaching that left arm up. Just make 4 big circles with that left hand. One or two extra won't hurt. Now on the other side, you're going to open up that right hand, palm turned up. You're going to open that right hand to the side and then back across the body about 4 to 6 times. Good job. All right. Go ahead and press that right hand out to the side. Make a few micro circles there. Reach that right hand around back behind, up the strap as far as you comfortably can. Left hand reaches up, bending at the elbow. Try and clasp hands or hold on to that strap. Again, re-engage through the core. Keep your pelvis scooped under here. Lengthen through the spine, head, and neck. Shoulders stay relaxed. Each side's going to feel a little different. We're going to be here for about 30 to 45 seconds. When you're ready, you can gently relax both hands, shrug the shoulders up and back and down. Just do that a couple of times. Awesome. Now we're going to place that strap underneath our feet. You can use the full length of the strap now. And we're going to use it for a little forward, standing forward fold assist. All right. So you're going to just walk your hands down the strap to your full arm length. Stand up, pull the shoulder blades back together. Take a nice deep breath in, stretching through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, just start to hinge forward from the hips. Press those hands out behind, back towards the wall behind you. So stay here about halfway. Press down through the heels, lengthen through the spine, shoulder blades stay together. Your legs are straight but not locked out. And then inhale, just scoop the hips forward, shoulders stack over hips. Now bend your knees, walk your hands down just another inch or two. Stand back up. You're going to feel that strap pulling on the feet slightly. And then exhale, hands out behind, pressing to the wall behind you, head reaching forward, legs straight. Inhale, scoop the hips, shoulders over hips, standing tall. One more time, just like that, hinging forward. Press the hands behind. Reach the crown of the head forward. And this time, relax the hands down to the floor or towards one another. Chin tucks in. Keep a nice solid bend in the knees here. And slowly place your hands down. Come down to your mat. And we're going to lie on our stomachs for one more quick back bend. All right. You can come down onto the floor. Place your hands right underneath of the front of shoulders or hips. Kind of just pick up each hip, move to the side, little space between the legs. And inhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Lift head, neck, and chest. Using very little help from the hands and arms, we're going to stay here in Bhujangasana or the Cobra pose. Now, this is sort of like a low cobra. Sometimes you'll see people really engaging through the hands and pressing up here. But I really just want to focus on that engagement through the shoulders and really underemphasize the triceps pressing here. Keep pressing your hips into the floor. If you want to, you could even lift your hands up off the floor here. Elbows in close to the side body. Press the floor away now. Come into a little counter stretch, child's pose. Toes tucked under, weight sinks back towards the heels or floor. Forearms and forehead can rest on the mat. When you're ready, gently come to sit on your rear and then gently lie down. So we're going to keep our feet on the floor. We're going to move into a bridge pose here in just a moment, in which case you can actually, let me grab a block. If you have a yoga block, I can show you a variation for a restorative bridge in case you want to start winding down and relaxing in this position. For the active bridge variation, we're going to be primarily balanced on our feet and shoulders, so it's important to get a good foundation set up here. Just side a little bit more. Okay, so you're going to gently pull the shoulder blades together by just kind of rolling the shoulders underneath and behind you on the floor there. You want enough space through the throat so there's no compression in the neck. You can just gently tilt the chin away. My feet are in alignment with my hips, which are in line with my shoulders. All right, you have a nice bend in the knees to where you can almost touch the heels. And then pressing down through the feet, you're just going to simply lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Again, there should be no compression in the head or neck. You should be able to very comfortably lift your head and place it back down without pinching in the head or neck. If something's not comfortable, it doesn't feel right, or isn't suiting you, then you can always find an alternative or simply rest. Now I'm really engaging in the glutes here, pressing up high. If I would prefer to, I could rest in a version of restorative bridge by turning this block on its side and resting here. If I want a little bit more of a grounded bridge with similar benefits, you can lower the block to its lowest setting and place that sort of right where we placed that strap earlier in our class around the hips and waistline. So whether you're resting in restorative bridge or remaining active, it doesn't matter. Whatever suits you better, you can use both. We'll be here for about another 30 to 45 seconds. When you're ready, you can gently lower down, remove that block if you were using it before, and actually just grab that block and place it underneath of an outstretched right leg. You're then going to start to hug the left knee in towards the belly or chest. Go ahead and start to rotate through that left ankle. Just making some nice ankle circles there. All right. Keeping that right leg relaxed and supported by the block. If at any point that doesn't feel comfortable, you can place your right foot back on the floor. We're going to start warming up the left knee joint and hamstring with just some basic mobility movements. All you're going to do is straighten this left leg, pressing through the heel towards the ceiling, and then drawing that heel back down towards the floor. I like to inhale as I bend the leg and then exhale while I straighten the leg. You might find that a different breath pattern works better for you. Next time you have that left leg straightened, and I didn't mention, but you could do this with the strap as well. You could actually hook that strap around the foot and hold it here with one or both hands. And now all we're going to do is just gently guide this right foot over just about 6 inches from its starting point so that maybe it's lined up with the belly button or maybe as far as that opposite hip. And we're just going to press through the pinky toe side of the foot, flexing the foot and then kind of angling that pinky toe in. Make sure that you didn't lift your left glute or hip off the floor. Keep that firmly planted there. This is a great stretch for the IT band or those muscles on the outside edge of that leg. Slowly bring the leg back to center, bend at the knee, and place your left foot on the floor. Go ahead and just gently shift that block over. Straighten your left leg to rest on that block. Just take a moment and notice the difference between your left and right leg. Once that's been observed, just go ahead and hug the right knee in towards the chest. Just hold it there for a couple breaths. Rotate through the ankle. Big breath in, flex the foot. Exhale when you're ready. Straighten that right leg. Again, inhaling to bend, and then exhaling, lengthening. Again, this is beneficial for the knee joint. That hinge joint at the knee relies on synovial fluid, which is sort of like a joint lubricant that it produces. And these simple, low impact range of motion exercises are really beneficial for that synovial fluid production and keeping our knees healthy. And this is also just a really simple or basic movement to keep our hamstrings flexible. Next time you have that right leg straight, and we're just gonna maintain that connection of right glute and the floor, and then just gently guide the leg over, keeping the toe flexed, meaning toes pulled back towards you, but we're just gonna gently angle that pinky toe kind of over to the left, kind of angling that foot in a little bit there. Find a comfortable place for the arms to rest and help you maintain that stretch. Gently bring that leg back to center, bend at the knee, and go ahead and lengthen that right leg out. We're going to go ahead and bring a bend back into the left leg, and we're going to work into a hip opening stretch here with our favorite figure four stretch. You're going to just cross this right ankle, kind of like the ankle shin junction, like the very lowest part of your leg above your foot there. That's going to come right above this left knee, kind of making this figure four shape. Now, to keep the right knee safe while we stretch, it's important to keep this right foot flexed, meaning toes activated, pulling back towards the direction of your knee. You may already feel a big stretch here, especially as you start to press using those right leg muscles, pressing that knee towards the direction your left foot's facing. But you might need a little something extra to really activate this big hip and glute stretch. And to do that, you're going to start to hug this left knee in towards the chest. Try and keep the shoulders and the face and jaw relaxed as you move into that deeper stretch. Alrighty, gently place that left foot down, uncross the legs, and we'll repeat on the other side. So this time, just gently place your left shin ankle junction above the right knee, left toes flexed, and hug that right knee in towards the chest. When you're ready, place that right foot back down, uncross the legs, just gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. And we're just going to take a brief rest in Savasana. So you can just go ahead and straighten the legs, pick up the arms, drop them down by your side. And we're just going to rest here for about a minute in tonight's class. Just do your best to let your physical body relax completely. You can gently kind of just wiggle and move and place things so they feel just right. This is just to give our bodies the opportunity to assimilate all those stretches, let all that blood circulate to where it needs to go to help benefit your well-being. You can gently turn the head and neck side to side, letting the head and neck relax. And just return to that same kind of mindful breathing once your physical body is relaxed. Let your attention and focus just reside on the breath flowing in and flowing out. Just let your breath start to deepen. Gently start to wiggle your toes. You can scrunch your eyes, wiggle your nose or lips. Take one last full body stretch, reaching your hands up and overhead. And then just gently roll over onto a side of your choice. And take your time to return to a seated position. Just pausing in that comfortable seated position. Just take a moment to find something you're grateful for. Let your head bow towards your heart. We'll greet each other and simultaneously close our practice today with Namaste. Namaste. Hello, I see you in all your beautiful light. Namaste. Thank you for joining, and we look